The legalization of same-sex marriage, not the ENDA, should be the top priority of the LGBT civil rights movement. As I stated in my first speech, marriage is more than just a symbol. It's a human rights battleground. Marriage is a direct representation of the values a society chooses to uphold. While it may be true that some members of the LGBT community may not wish to get married, the legalization of same-sex marriage will open the door for more policies to pass, such as the ENDA. But because of the emphasis the role of marriage has in our society, same-sex marriage must be legalized in order for any further change to occur. There has been a new trend of support that favors same-sex marriage. For the first time since 1996, the majority of Americans are in favor of same-sex marriage, according to a 2011 Gallup poll. This is a huge breakthrough because it proves that American citizens want this change to occur. My opponent mentions that the ENDA has been proposed several times since 1996, but it still hasn't encountered enough support to pass. The support for same-sex marriage, however, has increased from 27% in 1996 to 42% in 2004, according to the 2011 Gallup poll. This rapid increase makes the legalization of same-sex marriage a more probable and realistic goal for the LGBT community. The legalization of same-sex marriage would also encompass many of the same benefits the ENDA can offer. Marriage offers 1,138 federal rights and responsibilities, many of which are job-related, such as family and medical leave and workers' compensation protections, according to the National Organization for Women's website. Therefore, the legalization of same-sex marriage accomplishes many of the same goals as the ENDA, while offering other unique benefits, such as the right to visit a sick or injured spouse and have a say in life and death matters during hospitalization. Thus, the impacts of legalizing same-sex marriage would have more substantial effects on society than the ENDA. My opponent also mentions that the ENDA would affect people of all ages. However, I have already proven in my first speech that legalizing same-sex marriage results in children better understanding the principle of equality. Most children probably haven't heard of or don't understand the ENDA, but children are exposed to the concept of marriage every day. Legalizing same-sex marriage would have direct positive effects on society as a whole because it would illustrate the principle of equality to children through an institution they are familiar with. Legalizing same-sex marriage would also open the doors for members of the LGBT community to gain adoption rights. This would help to solve for more than the 1.5 million homeless children currently living in America, according to homelesschildrenamerica.org. Permitting same-sex marriage would eliminate the notion that our government openly discriminates against its own citizens, and since the subject of same-sex marriage is more popularly discussed in the ENDA, the effects would have a much greater impact on society. The legalization of same-sex marriage is far more beneficial to our nation than the ENDA. Marriage is not merely a symbol. It is an institution that shapes the social structure of our society. Legalizing same-sex marriage solves for many of the goals associated with the ENDA while offering more exclusive benefits. The effects of same-sex marriage would be far-reaching and could provide for a unique opportunity to demonstrate to children the principle of equality. The LGBT civil rights movement must focus on legalizing same-sex marriage in order to achieve these goals.